As I mentioned in the last module where I was showing you how to select cases or sort of particular cases you're going to look at, this module is going to help you comparing different groups. So at its simplest, we may want to compare countries. Yeah, first I'm going to show you something simple and then it's going to get more difficult. So here we have the data set again. You're familiar with that. So we go to data and then we do the following. We split the file so that it goes in 3 different directions. Split file, country, compare groups. Now let's make sure that that comes in here. And then we say OK. And then we can do descriptive statistics, frequencies. Now, usual challenge, find something really fast. Okay, I had something here before, which I'm going to use now. How important is religion in making decisions for the respondent? I already had that entered here from before. Let's just take a look at that. Look at the output, and here it comes. You see the comparison between the countries. It's actually interesting, it yields differences here. And oops, very important, in Armenia 27%, in Azerbaijan 23%, and in Georgia 46%. Yeah, so that's interesting output. So here, quick way, instead of comparing countries or comparing groups, you go to data, split file, and then play around with that. Now, let's imagine you want to do something else. And what you want to do now is you want to compare women and men in Georgia. So what would you do? We would go to select cases. We just want to take a look at Georgia. So country, you'll remember, equals 3. 3 standing for Georgia. So continue. The others are filtered. Okay, great. Now, we want to compare men and women. Then we go to split file. And then it depends really whether you want to look at the household respondents or the individual respondents. Remember, those may be different people. And if we just look at the individual respondents, that will tell us about their attitudes towards social and political issues. We need to go down a little bit here. Sex of individual respondent. Yeah, compare groups. This is important that you get this right, otherwise you get the sex of the household head and it's not really the individual respondent you're looking at, so you have to go a little bit down. And then let's play the same thing, sort of importance of religious. So you've seen the frequencies already. That's already how important is religion. Just try that out. Of course, you can pick anything else you want. And this is now just for Georgia. It's not mentioned here, so you have to be careful that you remember that that it's been pre-selected. And here we can see, very important, 51% for 51% of women and only for 39% of men. Yeah, and let's go back once more and do one more here just out of curiosity. Analyze descriptive frequencies. Now here's a neat trick for getting back to the same cluster of questions. You just bring it back and then that puts you on the same sort of line here. And then how often does the respondent pray? And then you see a fascinating difference here that in Georgia, I've looked at that before, so I know a little more here. In Georgia, 15% of men tell you they're praying every day, but actually 34% of women tell you that they're praying every day. So there's a very, very big difference here, gender difference. Okay, just to walk through that once more, how that works. The key is on the data that you split the file according to whatever you want, individual respondent or country. Sometimes you need to pre-select the particular type of group you're going to look at. in one country, otherwise it gets mixed up. And in case you want to go back here, is you just do reset. It yields very neat output, very easy to compare, and yet another example of how SPSS is a lot easier than it seems at first. Hope you found that useful. In the next installment, we're going to show you how to recode particular values. Let's imagine, for example, you have age groups where people say their year of birth, and you can't just have every single year of birth there, and you need to recode and sort of regroup that in order to put that into simpler categories. Again, that's easy, and we're happy to share that with you, and hope you'll find it interesting.